Big trade in the National Hockey League. Trevor Zegras has just been traded from the Anaheim Ducks to the Philadelphia Flyers in exchange for forward Ryan Poehling, the 45th overall pick in this year's draft, and Philadelphia's 4th round pick in 2026. I think this is a trade where obviously the Anaheim Ducks are getting rid of a player that hasn't really worked out over the last 2 years and wants to change the identity, bring in, obviously Poehling, a bottom six player, but with a few younger, some picks. And for Philadelphia, they're getting a guy that obviously has a lot of offensive potential, and they're banking on it. They're obviously still in a rebuild. They're looking for as much talent as possible that they can acquire via trade. So I think that for the Flyers, I think this is a pretty good idea. Just bank on potential and be patient. You can put him sign a guy like Matvei Michkov, and hopefully, they can develop together. And in Anaheim's case, Zegras never really fit in there. Pat Verbeek's wanted to add to build a bigger team, and Zegras hasn't fit in that mold. So I think that, they get rid. Obviously, they could have gotten a bit more value if they would have, for example, have traded him last year. They could have gotten more value if they would have held on to him for another year. They could have rebuilt his value next season, then trade him for a better return. But I think for the Ducks, it still makes sense why they get rid of him, and they're trying to maybe, prepare a bigger splash in the coming days and coming weeks potentially. I think if I had to give grades for this trade, I would say probably Anaheim. I would give them a C plus, because like I said, they could have gotten a bit more value for this guy. You could have waited a bit more, maybe another year. And for Philadelphia, I'm going to give them an A minus, banking on potential, even though there's no guarantee that Zegras pans out with Anaheim. All right, so that puts an end to this deal. Let me know in the comments if you're a Flyers fan or a Ducks fan, who wins this trade. Don't forget to check me out on YouTube at Jacob Slapshot, and I'll see you again for another video.